Welcome to Champion Stepdad Podcast. We are exploring the unique role of stepdads and how to apply performance psychology skills to become better father figures and role models. Building a band of brothers by focusing on empathy and accountability. Empathy because being a stepdad is tough. Accountability because I get it. Being a stepdad is tough, but you chose this role, so do it as best as you can. My name is Neil Wadier. I'm a 16-year stepdad. I'm also a resilience trainer and a performance consultant, encouraging you to join the Champion Stepdad Facebook group, get involved, and grow your band of brothers. Last week, I introduced the 7 Cs of Resilience as originally proposed by Dr. Kenneth Ginsberg and began the discussion with confidence. And confidence is belief you can accomplish a goal or perform at a specific standard. And it's closely related to competence, which is what we're going to discuss today. The two of these things are so interrelated, confidence and competence, that it can be difficult to talk about one without the other. And they're all often glossed over and used interchangeably. But there's a distinct difference that we're going to talk about today. Competence is belief and trust in your knowledge, skills, and abilities. While confidence is belief I can climb a mountain, I can run a marathon, or I can regulate my temper when dealing with an uncompromising child. Completion of the goal or performing at a certain standard is dependent upon my competence, my knowledge, skills, and abilities. Now, confidence also includes the belief in my willingness and persistence to gain the necessary knowledge, skills, and abilities. Do I believe that I could play guitar? Do I believe that I could sit down for 15 minutes every day or every other day and practice for 15 minutes consistently so that over time I could learn to play and have fun at whatever level it is that I want to, whether I want to play in a band, want to be a rock star, or I just want to be a fireside player, just for fun, right? Recreation type playing, whatever my goal is, whatever my performance level is, do I have the confidence in my willingness and persistence to learn the things that I need to learn and eventually be what I want to be? I may not be able to walk out my front door and run a marathon, which is not a goal of mine, by the way. It's just an easy one to use, because even if you don't want to run it, if you've never ran one, you have no ambition to, it's still a very daunting task that I think we all could understand the type of effort it would take to not only accomplish that, but prepare to accomplish that. So to walk out my front door, run a marathon, either right now or 12 weeks from now, if I dedicate myself to deliberate practice, I believe that I could do that. That's confidence. So you can see how confidence and competence are intimately dependent upon each other. Now, confidence without competence is arrogance. At a minimum, will probably make you look foolish. At worst, it could be dangerous, potentially deadly. One of my favorite sayings is the first step to education is admitting your ignorance. You have to be willing to admit you don't know something, or that you can learn something more before the learning begins. Another quote I really enjoy is, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your level of training. This is often attributed to US Navy SEALs. It actually goes back to ancient Roman texts where philosophical conversations were considered a sport in and of itself. The idea is, when you face stress and adversity, you're going to fall back on your most recognized and utilized habits. The oldest part of the brain, the smallest part of the brain, is focused on survival and fires so quickly. It relies on instinct and well-worn habits. One of my most difficult habits to overcome has been my snap toward anger and defensiveness. Part biology and part environment, I hold many of my parents' traits, and I've learned a lot by watching their interaction throughout my life. I also learned a lot by being the target of their anger and their aggression. To this day, when there is conflict between my wife and I, when the kids are being difficult to deal with, or when I generally don't get my way, I can still feel the instinct toward anger and aggression. By focusing on the skills, the mental skills, the body-based skills I've learned, I'm better able to remain calm and work toward the best resolution. Not necessarily what is best for me, but what is best overall. Mental skills have to be practiced. I can't wait for a fight to jump off or for the kids to irritate me and simply expect myself to maintain my composure, breathe effectively, and talk calmly. I've had to practice these skills and continue to practice these skills every day because I still feel occasionally the anger, the defensiveness, the frustration, and it comes out in my nonverbal communication, my behaviors, and people see that stuff. I don't hide stuff very well, and I don't care. I'm not one of those people that, I try to hide everything. I actually feel it's more effective when I just put it all out there. You could probably look at me and know exactly what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind being transparent, especially when it comes to my spouse and my kids. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to be anything other than what I am. And I mean that in the best sense of, if you see that I'm frustrated and you can read that I'm frustrated because I'm frustrated, I'm good with that. Then call me out on it. Anyone who's ever played a sport or been a competitor in an event or performed a skill, like a performing artist, an actor, or a musician, you realize the need to continually improve. Small, consistent action and behavior is greater than occasional great effort. Like going to the gym. I could go to the gym a couple times a week and do a whole bunch of small workouts, but do them consistently and intensely. And I'm going to accomplish more over time than I would if I went to the gym occasionally and threw some big shit around. It's just, that's not effective. Small, consistent action and behavior is greater than occasional great effort. Be confident in your role, in every role that you fill. Know that you can be the person that you want to be. Be confident you are worthy of love and respect. Set those healthy boundaries and don't be a victim. Set your life up and have the expectation, knowing that you're confident that you deserve love and respect. Be confident in the process of learning and applying knowledge, skills, and abilities. Consistent, deliberate practice leads to competence. Believe and trust in your talents. Believe and trust in what you have to offer to your family. Put aside the ego. Let go of the past hurts. Focus on becoming better every single day. And perfection is an illusion. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that you're never going to make a mistake or that you're never going to lose your cool. I just had a minor argument with my wife a couple days ago, and it really just came down to a difference of perspective and opinion. It wasn't a major fight, but there was conflict. It's going to happen. Most of the time we work out things pretty good, and I'm getting much better about holding myself accountable, about taking a breath, pausing. And even my wife has started to realize sometimes I just need a little bit of time. She just needs to let it go for a little bit. And a lot of times I'll come back later, or if she comes back to me later, we can either discuss it, we can exchange the apologies, whatever it is that needs to happen. I've realized that sometimes I just need a little bit more time, and we make that work within our relationship in the best sense of that, not forcing it, but allowing it to happen, allowing the process to happen. So not about perfection. I want you to focus on excellence. It's the constant state of education and practice, that idea of an athlete or a performer who constantly practices their trade so they can get a little bit better every single day. You deserve better. Of your family deserves the best of you, and you deserve to hold yourself accountable and work on these things every single day. So build your confidence, build your competence, build your resilience. Show your children, show your family what it means to be a humble, lifelong learner. Next week, we're going to discuss the third C of resilience, which is connection. Thanks for listening to the Champion Stepdad podcast. I have 2 tasks for you to take away this week. First, choose one action from today's conversation to implement in your life. Second, share this podcast and the community with somebody who wants to become a better stepdad. I appreciate your direct message feedback and would appreciate your online review of the podcast. Your honest rating and review helps me improve the show and helps others find our community. Thanks, and have a great week.